You do know that if you refuse to get rich, everybody thinks you're an idiot. Women certainly think you're an idiot. If you talk to a hot girl, she believes every man has money. She's been on jets, she's stayed in hotels, she's eaten all these expensive dinners. She never sits there and goes, how did this man earn 200 grand for a jet and 30 grand for a hotel for 3 days and 10 grand for a dinner? How do you even earn that much money? Never crosses her mind. She doesn't give a shit. The reason she doesn't care is because every man she has ever dated, every man she has ever spoken to has had money. She thinks it's normal. If you say to a woman, I don't have any money, she thinks you're a fucking retard. She thinks there's something wrong with you. Like, are you disabled? That's why they don't want poor men. It's not just because they want the rich lifestyle. They look at you and think, there's something wrong with him. His dick doesn't work. Because as far as I know, men just have money. It's actually the same with rich men. I come from absolutely nothing, and when I meet the children of billionaires and I say I'm rich now, they say, oh, of course you are, you're smart. Even people born with money say that anyone with a brain will get rich. If you sit in front of a billionaire with no money and say, I don't have any money, guess what they're gonna think? They're gonna think you're retarded. You are going through life with the majority of beautiful women and important men thinking you are a fucking retard because you haven't dedicated yourself to the one game nobody can escape from playing. I don't give a fuck if you're a hippie. I don't care if you hate capitalism. I don't care if you're black, white, tall, short, ugly, fat. It doesn't make a difference. You need money. Everyone is playing the economic game. You can't escape it. You can run off into the wilderness and live in a forest. Sooner or later, you're gonna need medical attention, and that's gonna cost money. Everybody has to play the money game. There's no escape from the game. So if the game is certain, why would you not become good at it? We teach you how to make money online at university.com because it is a game that you must be involved in. And it is a game that if you fail at, every single person of value is going to think you are a retard. So when you say to me, I don't have motivation to work hard, I don't know how I should get rich, I don't want to try, what you're saying is you're happy for all of the world's important men and all of the world's beautiful women to think you're an idiot. And you're gonna live that way because you can't find the energy to log on to university.com and make some money. You can't find the energy to log on to a fucking website. Not to run a marathon, not to fight in a trench. You can't log on to a website so that you can be respected in your few short years of consciousness you've been fortunate enough to enjoy on this planet. You'd rather just go through it with most people looking down on you. To make that decision is a personality defect. Anybody who is not broken inside, broken spiritually as a man, wants to be respected. You want to be respected by other men, and you want to be respected by beautiful women. And the easiest way to do that is to prove your capability and competence and usefulness. And it is near impossible for you to convince anybody you are capable and competent and useful if you cannot make any money. So for that reason, even the clouds are getting excited. So for that reason, you need to understand that making money is not just about buying things. Making money is not just about private jets around the world. Making money is not just about yachts and cars and watches. Making money is about proving to everybody else, proving to God, proving to your family, proving to your ancestors that you're not wasting your time, that you're not an idiot, and that you can dedicate yourself to something. And if you are serious about changing your destiny and making money so that you finally matter in this world, we will teach you how at university.com. You know, I'm fine with economy. I don't give a shit. I'm a full-grown fucking man. I'll go and sit on an economy flight for 22 hours to Sydney, Australia from LA. Doesn't matter to me. Instead, I'm on a $200,000 private jet. Well, does that make me happy? Not really. You know what does make me happy? Makes me happy that I can put the woman I love on a private jet. Makes me happy that if I want to see my children, I can put them on a private jet so they turn up quickly enough for me to spend a single hour with them. I can spend $200,000 to get an hour with my kids because a jet is faster than sitting around at an airport with a bunch of fucking brokies. It matters to me that if my mother has a heart attack, I can afford the best surgeon on the planet. It matters to me that if my grandma dies, I can give her the best possible funeral. What matters to me is that I can actually take care of the people I fucking love. I don't give a shit about having money. I'll go back to living in a single room with Tristan sleeping on the floor like we did when we were broke. I don't care. I'll go back to flying economy after saving for an entire year to get a 3-day holiday. in some all-inclusive dump in Spain. I don't give a fuck. What I do care about is that I finally have money to be useful to the people I love. Because when I was broke, I wasn't very useful to people. I would see the people I care about struggling. I'll go to economy, no problem. I don't want the woman I fucking love sitting in economy with a bunch of fucking peasants. I don't want the woman I love going to work, having a male boss and a bunch of male colleagues trying to fuck her all day because I can't afford to retire her. What kind of fucking man would that make me to send my woman into the lion's den with dudes who are gonna be constantly trying to get her fucking tits out? And I'm gonna sit there and go, oh, well, I don't have enough money, so I guess she just needs to work. But you're just gonna accept that? Because you're not gonna try, because you're not motivated, because you're not dedicated? Having money as a man has actually nothing to do with yourself. If you're smart enough to make money as a man, you're probably stoic enough to not give a shit. I don't give a fuck about diamond watches. I don't care about cars. I don't care about private jets. I don't care about a big, nice house. I don't care about any of it. I will go back to bug level, back to the dirt, living in a fight gym like I used to. I don't care. But what I do care about is being so monumentally incompetent that the people I love and the people who rely on me can't get what they need from me, or I have to expose them to dangers. Well, my woman has to get the fucking bus, or stand around on the street waiting for an Uber because she hasn't got a private driver, or my security team can't go pick her up because I can't fucking afford one. What happens when she gets raped? What happens when something happens to her? What am I gonna say? Oh, but I still love you. Clearly not very much. Because I didn't love her enough to dedicate myself to get rich to prevent her from fucking getting gang raped on a street corner. So what does my love even matter? What is my love even worth? Poor men, useless men, incompetent men's love means nothing. It doesn't matter how much you love a woman. It doesn't matter how much you love your children. It doesn't matter how much you love your fucking family. If you can't help them, provide for them, protect them, take care of them. And if you're gonna wake up every day as a man and lack dedication and motivation to get rich because you don't have enough fire inside of your heart to be dedicated towards taking care of the people you love, then you're probably a piece of shit person. I'm at the point now when some man goes, oh, I'd love to get rich, but I'm struggling with motivation. I look at him and it's like he's fucking scum. You lack the motivation to what? Love your woman and love your family and love your fucking children? You're either a dipshit, you're either one of the useless men, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. You're either a fucking useless loser, or you're the kind of person who's gonna do anything it takes to win because you understand you have obligations as a man. You are obligated to protect. You can't not be able to fight. You have a job. You can't not afford things. You have a job to do. And it is for that reason you need to get rich. Not for yourself, for everybody else. And you will see how much better life is when people look at you with respect. Finally. For the first time in your life, when women look at you with a different look in their eyes, when they finally respect you, when men, important men meet you and they finally respect you, when your family is finally proud of you. And all of that happens when you dedicate yourself to something. When you join university.com, when you finally start to make more money than anyone else in your family can even fucking fathom. That is when you're gonna feel happy, and that is when you're gonna matter. And it's truthfully your job. It is your job as a man. It has been bestowed upon us by the universe, by the cosmos, since the dawn of human time to wake up, dedicate ourselves, and become capable. So if you want to make money, it's not for you to be able to fly on private jets across the Atlantic and smoke a fat cigar. That's not why you need to make money. You need to make money so that you finally are useful to the people who care about you and who you care about. And we will teach you exactly how to do that at university.com. Vices are a double-edged sword. A lot of people talk about how you shouldn't have vices if you want to get ahead in life, but vices give you endless desire. It's kind of like a country. If you have a lot of natural resource as a poor country, it makes you poorer. If you have a lot of natural resource as a rich country, it makes you richer. Why is that? Well, in a poor country, natural resource is easy to extract without complicated systems. So if you build jet engines in your country, country A builds jet engines, they need universities, they need factories, which means they need workers, which means they need houses, which means they need hospitals, which means they need roads, which means they need society. Whereas if you have gold in the ground, you don't need society. You need a couple excavators and an army to protect that gold deposit, and that's it. So if you have a rich country that has gold, it'll excavate the gold and it'll go inside the financial system and the country will use the money relatively responsibly. But if you're a poor country that has gold, you're not gonna build hospitals, you're not gonna build factories, you're not gonna build roads, you're not gonna build schools, you're not gonna do any of that. You're gonna put the army to guard that gold deposit, you're gonna dig it up and sell it, dictator's gonna steal all the money. And vices are the same. If you're a smart person with vices, they make you richer. If you're an idiot with vices, they destroy you. It's very simple, because vices give you near unlimited motivation to achieve that vice. I have a car addiction, that is clear. I must spend $50 to $60 million a year on cars because I want everyone. I want the brand new Bugatti. I want a Koenigsegg Jesko. I want a Gemera. I want the Pagani Utopia, even though I have the Hyura BC. I want all of them. I want the new Valhallas. I want the new Raris. I want all of them. I need to make money. I wake up every day and I see a picture of a car. I want it. I need to make some fucking money. If you love women, that can either destroy you or it can make you monumentally successful. Loving women can either have you wasting your time chasing women who don't give a shit about you on Instagram because you're a fucking nobody, or out here dedicating yourself to the point where you're gonna have endless women who are loyal to you, dedicated to you, doing anything it takes to spend time with you. So vices work the same way wealth works, depending whether you're a rich country or a poor country. Vices work exactly the same depending whether you're a smart person or a dumb person. I have a bunch of vices. I love big, fat, expensive cigars. I love to be respected everywhere I go. I love to have all the best cars on the planet. I love security and safety. I'm extremely security conscious. I have a ton of vices. I love to feel powerful, so I have to train. I'm not a perfect person without vice. All of this stoicism and to not be interested in anything and not be dedicated to anything or not be controlled by anything, that's bullshit. That's cope. That's cope for the mediocre. The average man has no vice. He has a mortgage and a wife, and he sits at home with his dog, and he pays his mortgage, and he sits with his wife, and he's happy. If he had a true fire inside of his heart, if he's an idiot, it would destroy it. But if he's a smart person, if he had a true fire inside of his heart as a smart man, he would have a completely different existence. So vices are actually a fantastic thing. As a man, you need to wake up and think, what can I not live without? Because once you decide what it is you can't live without, I would argue 100% of the time, whatever that thing you want costs money. Once you wake up and go, I want women, I want cars, I want respect, whatever it is, that thing costs money. And now, because you can't go without it, you'll get some money. A crack addict never says, I'm too poor. They find crack, bro. And they're fucking crack-addled. They have no clothes and no phone and no social media. They will find money for crack because they need crack. Now that's the stupid version. What I'm saying is there are Wall Street bankers who need money for yachts with the same level of dedication. They need money for yachts. They want a yacht. Their friend has a yacht. Their friend's yacht's bigger than theirs. They need $47.4 million and they need it today. Those are the people who think outside the box. Those are the people who are up early. Those are the people who are focused. Those are the people who are dedicated. Those who are full of vices. The vice-filled man. You're not gonna have fire inside of your heart if you don't have vices and desires. That's an absolute bottom line. So when I meet people who are just like, oh yeah, you know, I don't do this, I don't do that. Oh, that's too expensive. I don't really care about that. That's not worth the money. It's the people in the middle who are getting raped by the systems anyway. People in the middle who are the fucking tax slaves to afford all the crack addicts bullshit when he finally needs something other than crack. Because he has money for crack, he hasn't got money for fucking healthcare. So the average man's paying for that. The rich people don't pay for the fucking crack addicts' healthcare because we have expensive accountants. We don't pay for that. So you need to wake up and realize and dedicate yourself to something you can't live without. You need more vices in your life. I don't know, men are waking up and they don't have any desires. Not only do I want a Ferrari, I want every Ferrari. And not only do I want every Ferrari, I want every Ferrari in every fucking color. So of course I make money because I want things and I'm gonna have them and I'm gonna buy them and I'm never gonna use them. I'm never gonna see them. I'm not even gonna fucking drive them, but I know I'm gonna own it and it's gonna be mine in a warehouse somewhere. For the same reason Genghis Khan had to conquer cities he never visited. This is the bottom line of man, the masculine urge to conquer. And men who don't have that don't win. And men who do have that will do anything it takes to win. You know, the world's an awfully small place when you get rich. It's kind of like when I was poor. You're stuck in one town and you imagine these faraway places and who's the rich guy in Monaco? Who's the rich guy in New York? Who's the rich guy in Miami? Turns out it's the same guy. And jets mean you can get anywhere in 2 hours. Everything's like an Uber. The same 2 hours it takes you to get into central Miami from Palm Beach, you can just take a plane and end up in New York. The world becomes a very small place. It's the same people, but it's so beautiful, you know? In fact, it's a little bit better. It's more isolated, more insulated. You know, I'll have my breakfast here tomorrow morning, overlooking New York City. Never really thought much of New York, to be honest with you. I wasn't a New York fan, and then the right person said, you should come along. All of a sudden, I'm in love with it. starting to enjoy life a lot more than I used to. If you're a man and you're not trying to become rich and powerful, I don't know what the fuck you're doing for today. If you're a man and you're not motivated to do anything it takes to get into the winner's circle, because it's about 50 people on the planet, the main characters, if you're not dedicated, if you don't have the motivation, if you're not prepared to do whatever it takes to get to the top, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. But I promise you, although the climb is difficult, it's arduous, yeah, sure. It's gonna hurt on the way up. But it's worth it. You don't want to be rich to buy things. You want to be rich so that you matter. You want to stop being invisible. Because when you are poor, you're invisible, you do not matter. You want to be rich so that when you go to a private members club in New York and you sit down at the table, people actually give a shit about what you have to say. You want to be rich so that when you tell a woman you love her, she is actually enamored by you. She is obsessed with the idea of having your love and your adoration. You want to be rich so you stop being a fucking nobody. It's not about buying things anymore. Escaping poverty is the ultimate competency test. If I meet you and you're a fucking 40 years old and you have no money, I know you have wasted decades. You are lazy. You're chasing a woman who probably didn't even fucking love you. You're not dedicated. You're stupid. There's something wrong with you. That's why you want to be rich. You want to be rich so you become a character in the game and stop being a fucking NPC. That is why you want to be rich. And if you don't wake up every day with a fire inside of you, endless motivation to finally give your last name meaning, to finally be somebody people give a shit about talking to, then you are simply born to lose, sir. That is why you want to be rich.